Now on KGW News, competing on fake snow. We verify the impact of artificial slopes at the Olympics. Plus, fighting for overtime in the fields.
And it's not okay for any employer, including farmers, to treat workers like they're disposable.
Farm workers push lawmakers for the pay they say is long overdue. And Washington budges a little on its mask mandate. But first,
find a job and don't steal, especially from helpless elderly people.
Who would rip off a 93-year-old? Your news starts now. Good evening and thank you for joining us on this Wednesday. I'm Laurel Porter. Our first story is pretty hard to believe and so maddening. A thief picking the pocket of a 93-year-old man with a walker. And it was all caught on camera. Catherine Cook talked with the victim who hopes someone will turn the guy in.
With help from his walker, Stan Baumhoffer gets around pretty well. He is, after all, 93 years old.
That's what they tell me.
Stan likes to run errands on his own when he's able to. Like the morning of January 25th, he dropped by the U.S. Bank Stadium branch in southwest Portland and came out with some cash. Turns out someone had been watching him.
All of a sudden I felt my date book leave my back pocket, and a guy was running away from me.
This guy. Security cameras captured the whole thing. That's Stan with his walker. You can see the guy pick his pocket before Stan turns around, stunned.
Obviously unable to defend myself or chase or do anything about a pickpocket. Screamed after him and called the police, and they were there within 3 minutes.
Police say the suspect ran just a couple blocks before ducking into this donut shop on Southwest 17th and Morrison. They also have security cameras.
Here's the suspect walking up to the counter. That's the Eiffel Tower on his t-shirt. He's bald on top with short hair growing out on the sides. Looks like he treated himself to a donut and some coffee. If he used the money from Stan's pocketbook, he definitely had change.
There was $1,000 in that book that he took. Be nice to have that back, as my only income is Social Security.
I was just outraged. I was just furious.
Stan's friend Susie can't believe what happened.
He's handling it extremely well, I think.
As for the guy who picked his pocket,
I can't say what I think he deserves, so.
Definitely not a donut.
That he's brought to justice.
If anyone recognizes this guy, Stan hopes they'll do the right thing and call police. At the very least, he hopes he takes this advice instead of someone else's wallet.
Find a job and don't steal, especially from helpless elderly people.
In Southwest Portland, Catherine Cook, KGW News.
Now let's get you caught up on tonight's other headlines. We just learned investigators found a body in the remnants of a building that burned in downtown Hillsborough. The fire at the Wheel Arcade happened January 2nd, but the body was only found this week because of safety concerns with the building. Police are still working to identify the victim, but investigators say he died of smoke inhalation. A 34-year-old man has been arrested for starting the fire and now could face additional charges. Portland union workers are clocking in after reaching a wage agreement with city officials today. They were set to strike tomorrow. The agreement includes a 1.6% cost of living adjustment retroactive to last July and another 5% increase starting this July. Roughly 1,100 city workers that make up the union voted to approve the offer. And the Timbers have suspended player Andy Polo due to domestic abuse allegations. ESPN is reporting the claims stem from a TV interview with his former partner, who claimed she suffered emotional and physical abuse from Polo. She also said he did not financially provide for her and their children. Polo has been with the Timbers since 2018. Washington is dropping its outdoor mask mandate. Governor Inslee said today the state will end the outdoor requirements a week from Friday. But he also said he wanted to wait another week before announcing any changes to the indoor rules to make sure case rates and hospitalizations continue to decrease. Oregon is planning to end its indoor masking at the end of March. We checked in with Clark County's public health director tonight. He says locally, the numbers are following the same downward trends. But it's important to remember, he said, case rates are still much higher than they have been at any other point in the pandemic. And hospitals are still very close to capacity.
We're all fatigued from the measures we've been all through for the last 2 years. But we're also happy, and we're seeing light at the end of the tunnel, perhaps, of the numbers going down. So I think a little more patience on this, and doing what you can do to protect yourself, I think is really important to do.
In addition to keeping up the masking, Dr. Melnick is also hoping more people will step up and get vaccinated, get boosted to help reduce the risk of new variants taking hold that could be worse than Omicron. We are keeping an eye on the work of state lawmakers as they continue their short session in Salem. One of the bills now up for debate would provide overtime pay for farm workers. Supporters say the pay increase is long overdue, while opponents worry it will cost farmers too much. Our Alma McCarty joins us now to break down this legislation.
The chair of the House Committee on Business and Revenue said lawmakers are in a tough spot with this bill, and he doesn't know if they have a perfect solution worked out right now. Many people, farm owners and farm workers alike, called into a public hearing last night to share just how impactful the passage of this bill could be to them.
During an hours-long committee meeting this week, Representative Andrea Salinas explained that the issue of farm workers and overtime pay goes back 8 decades. Congress excluded farm workers from the Fair Labor Standards Act of 1938, a landmark policy that introduced overtime pay, established minimum wage, and banned child labor.
The exclusion applied to farm workers of all colors, but its purpose was to perpetuate a Southern labor system that had its roots in slavery. Sadly, we continue to face the effects of this exclusion today, as most farm workers are immigrants from Latin America. And excluding farm workers from overtime was wrong in 1938, and it is still wrong today.
Representative Salinas is one of the chief sponsors of House Bill 4002, which would prohibit employers from requiring agricultural workers to work in excess of maximum allowable hours unless they're compensated for overtime. In its current form, the bill phases in the overtime requirements over 5 years, starting in 2023. It also includes a tax credit due to the increased cost to employers. Representative Shelley Bosshart Davis expressed her concerns about this draft, saying it could drive many farmers out of business.
There are many in agriculture who won't survive a 40-hour overtime pay mandate, and many more who will be forced to downsize or significantly change their operation in order to feed their families, or even worse, sell out to a larger corporation that can afford this mandate.
Many for and against weighed in during the nearly 3-hour virtual public hearing.
We have an opportunity today to move forward in passing House Bill 4002 and end this exclusion once and for all.
The future of Oregon's family farms depends on your ability to achieve real and genuine compromise.
It all comes down to balancing costs with fairness.
We're one of the most diverse states in the country when it comes to agriculture, so we have a lot of different needs.
Farm workers deserve our respect, they deserve to be protected, and they deserve overtime pay after 40 hours a week.
The conversation is ongoing, and lawmakers will hold a work session on the farm worker overtime bill next Monday.
California and Washington passed similar laws introducing overtime pay to agricultural workers. Oregon would make the third state with these protections.
I know you'll be keeping an eye on this for us. Thank you, Alma.